Welcome to Beneath the Terrors, where the shadows of the unknown are brought to life. Tonight we delve deep into the sinister legend of the Blackwood House, a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and a single whisper can lead you to unimaginable terror. Join us as we uncover the chilling mystery of Sarah's whisper, where an ordinary search for a missing sister turns into a nightmarish encounter with a haunted past. Brace yourself for the spine-tingling tale of the haunting of Blackwood House. Every Halloween, a courageous group of adventurous souls would gather, fueled by a mix of curiosity and bravado, to test the chilling legend that surrounded the infamous Blackwood House. With flashlights trembling nervously in their hands, they would approach the mansion, its eerie silhouette casting long shadows in the moonlight, only to scatter in fright at the first ominous creak of the old wooden porch. Yet this year was destined to be different. This year, we had a compelling reason to brave the darkness. My sister Sarah had mysteriously vanished just a week earlier, leaving our family and the authorities in a state of bewilderment. The police were baffled, their investigations yielding nothing but frustration. The only clue we had to cling to was a cryptic note scrawled in her handwriting, a single word that sent chills down my spine. Blackwood. Though we understood it was a long shot, we felt an overwhelming pull to explore this connection, to see if it could lead us to her. On that fateful night, a group of 5 close friends gathered at the edge of town, the familiar faces bringing a sense of solidarity amidst the dread that enveloped us. We had all grown up together, sharing countless memories, and Sarah was like a sister to each of us, her laughter echoing in our minds as we prepared to confront our fears. Determined to uncover the truth, we set aside our doubts about the haunting urban legend, steeling ourselves for the unknown. As we approached the mansion, an icy chill ran down my spine, and I felt a sense of foreboding wash over me. The house loomed large before us, its turrets clawing at the night sky like skeletal fingers reaching for salvation. The windows were dark voids, seemingly alive, staring back at us with an unsettling intensity. I gripped my flashlight tighter, desperately trying to quell the racing of my heart, which felt like a drumbeat of impending doom. With a collective breath, we pushed open the front door, which creaked ominously on its rusted hinges. A musty smell, heavy with the weight of age and decay, wafted out to greet us, as if the house itself were exhaling a long-held breath. We stepped inside, our lights flickering over old portraits that gazed down at us with hollow eyes and dusty antiques that seemed to hold secrets of the past. "Hello?" I called out, my voice echoing off the high ceilings, bouncing back at us like a spectral reply. "Is anyone here?" There was no answer, only the silence that wrapped around us like a shroud. We ventured deeper into the house, our footsteps loud against the creaking floorboards, each groan of the old wood causing us to jump in alarm. I couldn't shake the sensation that unseen eyes were watching our every move, tracking us from the shadows. As we explored, we stumbled upon a grand staircase that curved upward, leading into the darkness above. I exchanged a nervous glance with my friends, the unspoken fear evident in our eyes. According to the legend, the most horrific events had taken place upstairs. Taking a deep breath to steady my nerves, I began the ascent, my friends following closely behind. With each step, the air grew colder, wrapping around us like a chilling embrace, and I felt a malevolent presence encroaching upon us, as if the house itself were alive, breathing in our fear. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat echoing in my ears like a warning bell. When we reached the top, I pushed open the first door, my hand shaking with anticipation. A chill coursed through me as I stepped inside. The room was frozen in time, a child's bedroom, untouched by the passage of years. A small bed sat in the center, covered in a thick layer of dust, as if it had been waiting for someone to return. A cracked doll perched on the pillow, its gaze unsettling and filled with a sorrow that made my skin crawl. Suddenly, a faint whisper broke the heavy silence. "Find Sarah." The voice was soft, almost like a breeze, but it sent icy shivers down my spine. I spun around, heart racing, but there was no one in sight. "Guys, I found something!" I called out, trying to keep the tremor from my voice. They rushed into the room, their lights bobbing wildly in the dimness. "What is it?" one of them asked, breathless with anticipation. I pointed at the doll, feeling a strange connection to it. "I don't know, but I think it's trying to tell us something important." We scoured the rest of the upstairs, discovering 2 more rooms in a similar state of eerie stillness. Yet, despite our frantic search, there was still no sign of Sarah. Frustration bubbled up inside me like a boiling pot. Had we misjudged the significance of this place? Had we been wrong about everything? As we turned to leave, a whisper echoed again, louder this time, more insistent. "Find Sarah." In that moment, the lights flickered and abruptly died, plunging us into an inky darkness where fear gripped us like a vice. Our only sounds were our ragged breathing, amplified in the silence. I strained my ears, desperate to catch any hint of movement, but there was nothing but the oppressive quiet. Then, as if summoned by our desperation, a faint glow began to emanate from the floor, illuminating a narrow path that led down a hidden hallway. Without exchanging a word, driven by an instinct we couldn't explain, we followed the light, our hearts racing with both hope and dread. The stairs descended deep into the earth, and the air grew colder with each step we took, the dampness clinging to our skin like a warning. We emerged into a damp cellar, the walls constructed of old brick that seemed to absorb the light. In the center of the room, to our astonishment, sat Sarah, bound to a chair, gagged and terrified, but alive. Relief surged through me like a tidal wave as we rushed to untie her, our hands shaking with urgency. She trembled with fear, her eyes wide with terror, but thankfully seemed otherwise unharmed. As we made our way back upstairs, the whispers intensified, growing louder and more frantic. "Find Sarah!" But we had already completed that task. We burst forth from the house, gasping in the cool night air, the weight of the mansion's darkness lifting as we ran toward the safety of our cars. We didn't stop until we were far away from the Blackwood House, the chilling shadows of that night still haunting our thoughts. Despite our escape, we never discovered who had taken Sarah or why they had left that cryptic note behind. But one truth remained etched in our minds. The legend of the Blackwood House was terrifyingly real. We were fortunate to have emerged with our lives, but the experience would haunt us forever. In retrospect, I realize how foolish we were to test the boundaries of an urban legend on Halloween night, when the veil between the living and the dead is said to be thinnest. But desperation drives people to act recklessly, and we would have done anything to bring Sarah back. The old mansion had stood vacant for as long as anyone could remember, looming over the small town like a decaying monument to a long-forgotten tragedy. The story goes that Malcolm Blackwood, the patriarch of the family, lost his sanity and committed unspeakable acts against his wife and children within those very walls. Some say that on certain nights, when the moon is high and the wind howls through the trees, you can still hear the echoes of their screams, a haunting reminder of the darkness that once thrived within the Blackwood House. As the whispers fade and the darkness recedes, we've only scratched the surface of the horrors lurking beneath the terrors. If you enjoyed tonight's tale of the Blackwood House, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more unnerving stories that will keep you up at night. Remember, the shadows are always watching, and you never know what might be waiting for you in the dark. Until next time, stay curious and stay cautious.